Time you bring new information in, it adds it to the layers itself. That's how you build up your layers. Now, if you go into file and you use place embedded and place linked, you can use these as well. But this is where on a deeper level, it gets interesting. If I use place embedded, let's say I can find an image. Here's this background scene right here. And I can grab the corners and left click and drag and scale it up. And now it's placed in a layer and I can drag the layers out. But there's a little icon there. And there's a little piece of paper. I don't know if you can see it. Can you guys see that little piece of paper icon? You'll see these little icons and layers, and they have different meanings. So if you see a little piece of paper icon in the lower right hand, you can double click on this layer itself. And what actually happens is that it opens up into a new Photoshop document, right? So you see how that happens. So I now have the original here. I double click on it and it opens up into a new document. And with this, I can manipulate this image here. Now, if I go back to the original, and let's say I just want to do something on the image itself. Let's say I want to use the brush tool and draw on the image. I can't. It won't let me. And so that confuses people a little bit at first. When they're using place embedded and place linked, it's bringing in a new image into a new layer, but you can only manipulate the image if you double click on that image and it opens up to a new document, and then you manipulate it in the new document, and then you can bring it back by just saving the new document. So if you're really new to Photoshop and you're trying to manipulate something, it's like, well, why can't I do anything? It's most likely it's a placed image of some sort. That's the problem. That's a placed image. So there's a hierarchy. You can think of it as a hierarchy, right? So Photoshop can have files within files, right? There's this hierarchy concept. So to avoid that, if you just copy and paste, you're not going to embed it. You're not going to link it. It's going to just be part of the document. So copying and pasting is like good old fashioned Command C, Command V. It's just putting the pixels right in there. When you do an embedding, is making that like part of the document, but it's still a separate document that's associated with the original. And when you do a linked, it's associating it with the original location of where the link came from. So whenever you hear that term, the terms embedded versus linked, it's referring to how the information is being stored within the document.